Daniel did it. John the Baptist did it. Elijah did it. Paul did it. This is one of the great gifts that God gives to people, is to learn to die to the flesh so that you might gain God. We say that fasting is a landing strip for revelation. I want to encourage you in these days of fasting. I want you to believe that. How many have already had dreams during your fast that you know from? Raise your hands. I'm going to pray for you. In the last week, you're going to get dreams from heaven. Or sometimes I've done fasts that are miserable fasts. Ever do a miserable fast? I've never known one that wasn't miserable. But you can bet that you'll receive a reward from heaven because of your fast. Well, you know where that is? You know where that is in the Bible? Well, here's the reward. The Bible said, when you fast in secret, your Father will reward you openly. Openly means a public demonstration. Actually, I believe what's happened here is a public demonstration and reward of people that have fasted and prayed for an outpouring of the Holy Spirit. A book that I read 35 years ago called Shaping History Through Prayer and Fasting. Derek Prince said this. He said, there is no fast that you do in faith that you will not see a reward. I feel that I'm living in the reward of fasts I did 30 years ago. Amen. This is just your beginning. Amen. I actually believe this seed right here could actually shape the future of America. Amen. I'm not hyping it. I've seen what a seed can do. I've been in this thing for 25 years. I was fasting. Nobody knew me. I was just a guy fasting because I read a book about it. And we fasted long fasts. And then suddenly overnight, it's like everything blew open into public reward from heaven. I'm not boasting, but I'm saying that's what happens with God. He rewards those who hunger and seek for him. What happened was, I don't know if you know the story. Do you know the story of the call? Maybe I'll tell it tonight. In 1999, I'd been leading a prayer and fasting movement for 6 years with youth across America. I'm not doing anything different. I'm still going to the young people and call them to fast and pray to shape the future of America. And I led these gatherings for 6 years across America with young people. And then in 1999, I found myself groaning in prayer, praying, how can I turn America back to God? I think you're the answer to that prayer.
Thank you, Jesus.
Someone should say amen. Amen. And I had cried, I was saying, God, how can I turn America back to God? And it was like a faith came into my heart. I just knew that God wanted to do something and use me. I want you guys to ask God, use me.
Amen. Yeah.
I want you to believe, God, that 16 years from right now, you'll be stirring your world for God, not having backslidden on the sidelines of some kind of pleasure-oriented culture. Folks, my son fasted 40 days at age 13. The video of his fast with 400,000 went to the Philippines. It erupted in the Philippines. 150,000 watched his video happen. Because of that video, 150,000 gathered in the Philippines and spread all over the world because of one young man, a teenager, gave his life to God and gave his teenage years to God. He had a dream at age 12. At age 12, he said, I had a dream, Dad, and in this dream, there were two gangs fighting, the devil gang and the God gang. He said, I went to the leader of the God gang, and I said, how old do you have to be a part of God's gang? The guy said, the rules have changed. It used to be 21, but now it's 12. Wow. He said, Dad, what does it mean? And I said, I think God's inviting you to be about your father's business at age 12. Right. Like Jesus, don't waste your teenage years. Tithe your teenage years. He did. He shook the world. And at the last video, how many of you saw Azusa? Did you see him when he stood with me? The big bearded dude? That's 16 years later. And he's running a prayer ministry that's shaking the world.
Thank you, Jesus.
Why not 16 years from right now? You're doing things that are shaking the world. You said, I didn't just get some kind of small little encounter with Jesus. I set myself to be a disciple. I set myself to be a follower of Christ. These are days that are just the beginning. With revivals like this, they're only seeds. Things that happen to you early in your life are but a window of a massive thing he wants to do at the end of it. I'm crying, how can I turn America back to God? I've been praying for revival so many years, and then this woman comes to me and she says, you don't know who I am, but the Lord told me to pay your salary this year because you're going to start something with the youth of America that will change the destiny of the nation. She's paid my salary for 16 years. She's 92 years old, and she just stopped paying because she can't do it anymore. I'm figuring I'm looking for someone in West Virginia. What I'm saying is, you guys, well, what happened was, she came to me, have you ever thought about kids in the mall? I said, yeah. She said, I'm going to give you $100,000 to start this thing. And 400,000 came to the sound of the Nazarites. I feel like 16 years later, I've come to a new day. And I've just written a book called The Jesus Fast.
Yeah.
I've been doing John the Baptist stuff and Elijah stuff, fasting and prayer. But I feel we're in the hour of the Jesus fast. I want you to believe for the last week of your fast, just like Jesus went into the wilderness and fasted 40 days, and it said, and he came out in the power of the Holy Spirit. And those who sat in darkness saw a great light. I actually believe you may be leading a wave, a 40-day fast that will spread across all of the world, really literally all of the world, because we're preparing, I believe, for the greatest harvest. This is just a seed. Let's believe for this. I want to just say to you guys, and I honor you. Everyone's hearing about you. Did you know that? We're all talking about you. West Virginia. It's so cool. Bethlehem mangers, man. That's where all things are always birthed. God just finds a manger somewhere. I just want to just say, everybody has heard about what's going on here. And when Caleb asked me to come, I said, I got to change my schedule just to be with you and to almost like feel like I'm stepping into maybe part of my own inheritance of the dream that I've carried for 20 years. Let's carry it on from here. Yes. So I want to just pray for you. I want to pray for the grace of fasting. Over the next five, how many more days you got?
7.
I can see some of you skinny dudes. By the way, don't get condemned if you've struggled in your fast and you didn't do all that you were supposed to do, or you thought you were supposed to do. Fasting is not how well you do in the fast. Fasting is about getting a breakthrough into faith. That's the deal. See, the devil just lied to you. You blew the fast. You didn't do this. I think God just loves you. Even if you do one meal. I think, what other high schools in America are doing this? So let's just break accusation off you. Well, I'm just not too holy. One time I was fasting. I cheated. Cheated in the fast. I think I'd called a fast. I looked both ways to see if my wife was watching. I snuck yogurt and chips. Anything tastes good when you're fasting. The next day I was in a 24-hour house of prayer, and this prophetic intercessor lady walks in. I'm thinking, oh boy, here's a nice girl, nice lady, scary lady. And she says, I had a dream of you last night. And in this dream, I saw you and you're sitting right where you're sitting right now. I thought, oh, this is a good dream. But she said, but in the dream, I was very disappointed with you. Because you were supposed to be fasting, but you were eating yogurt and chips. I just think God just loves us, you know. I want to pray that God will give you grace in the next 7 days.